Alrighty, we're back once more. Higaruma and Yuji gazing down on the now incarnated Sukuna. 4 eyes, 4 arms. Things are about to get buck wild. You can just tell. I don't know exactly how they're floating down, but honestly, don't make a difference because it just looks so cold, you know? Inhuman Makayo Shinjuku Showdown Part 16. 16 parts, that's pretty impressive. Let's just hop in. Sukuna does not look worried about this at all. In fact, he looks accepting of this. Takaba creates an opening against Kenjaku. No Kotsu kills him. That only happens if we have confirmation that Gojo is lost. But Okotsu will have to hustle back seriously. That also assumes that killing him is going to go smoothly, which... Have you guys not been dealing with the machinations of this guy for, like, way too long? But against Sukuna, it'll be all-out war. We gotta decide who's gonna fight. Are they dumb? If it's all-out war, everybody fights, and I'm first. There's no point in sending someone to the front lines who will die right away without even creating a new opening. Like Miwa. Dude, lay off Miwa. Not only does she lack skills, but she imposed a binding vow on herself in Shibuya never to swing a katana again. And Kaito blocked my attack barehanded. When did she do this? A sorcerer should be able to use cursed energy to reject Master Tengen's merger with the people of Japan. If Sukuna and Kenjaku win, the monstrous offspring of the merger wreaks havoc all over the world. There's a chance some people can survive. Even though if Kenjaku survives, he'll kill anyone who's a player in the culling game. Even then, survival is possible for a few days. Longer if only Sukuna wins and survives. Sorry, but count me out. I doubt I'd be of any use anyway. I want to protect my family. I intend to flee with them overseas. That's fine. I don't need an explanation. This isn't an execution. It'd be strange if someone was cut out for this fight. Thanks for teaching me so much, Senpai. Who is this supposed to be? I can't tell. After all, Choso can't teach for squad. Oh, really? Combatants will include anyone with reverse curse technique, and anyone who wants to die or doesn't mind dying. Everyone else will be backup or sit out. I'll go in after Kashimo. My curse technique can confiscate Sukuna's curse technique. He's acting like he expects me to lose. It's just in case. We're grateful to you for letting Gojo go first. Well, I don't like it. If he receives the death sentence, I can fight Sukuna with the Executioner's sword. A sword sure to kill in one blow, huh? That'd be great, but the ruling may not be confiscation or death, right? In what world is it not? Depends on what charges Judge Man brings against Sukuna. Even you can't choose, right? Oh, this is Yuji talking. Right. Me and Sukuna switched 3 times. High school, the juvenile detention center, and Shibuya. A lot of people died at the detention center and in Shibuya. You could have your way with regard to Sukuna's actions in Shibuya, and time in Fushiguro's body. Given the crimes he's committed, isn't a death sentence likely? No, I don't think so. Here's what I know about Sukuna. First, there's Itadori's high school. Bodily injury to Itadori, possession of this flesh, attempted murder of Satoru Gojo. Then there's the detention center. Murder of Itadori, but only attempted. But possibly only attempted murder since Itadori came back to life. Attempted murder of Megami Fushiguro. Finally, there's Shibuya. Murder of 2 curse user high school girls. Attempted murder of numerous civilians. Murder of the sorcerer with the pigtail. Arson of uninhabited buildings. He's also possessed Megumi Fushiguro. But depending on Fushiguro's condition, the possibilities are bodily injury, murder, and illegal possession of a dead body. The detention center was way worse than that. It will be hard to accuse Sukuna of crimes due to the cursed objects that are his fingers. Those crimes are indirectly Sukuna's fault, but he didn't willfully or aid or abet. It could also make him hard to charge him for Junpei Yoshino's mother. Wow, Junpei reference. I didn't realize we still remembered him. A guilty verdict for a single murder results in 10 to 15 years of imprisonment. Killing 2 people is life imprisonment or death. 3 or more usually means death. Sukuna's actions are cruel, selfish, and deleterious to society, so rehabilitation is unthinkable. Even applying the Nagayama criteria would easily result in death in a normal trial. The Nagayama what? Oh, I get it. What? You understood that? Nah, you're joking, right? Do you think I'm stupid? In a normal trial, the totality of his crimes would result in the death penalty. The Higaruma's curse technique tries each crime separately, and I'd say there's less than a 30% chance of death for just those crimes. Yet Yuji got sentenced to death for Shibuya, which was Sukuna's doing as the direct ruling of Judge Man, no? The problem is small offenses attendant to big ones. For example, stabbing someone is bodily injury or attempted murder, but the stabber also tears the victim's clothing, which is strictly speaking is property damage. When it comes to slaughter, in Shibuya, Judge Man may focus on property damage or breaking and entering. Then the death penalty is a long shot. Judge Man accused me of entering a pachinko parlor, so it's possible. Judge Man could also focus on minor offenses that Sukuna committed while in Itadori's body. What are you doing? Are you stupid? Another problem is crimes committed 1,000 years ago. No, that's too long ago. Modern laws were passed in the Meiji era, and they include a time limit. A statute of limitations, right? But the Code of Criminal Procedure was amended in 2010, removing the statute of limitations for murder. So no statute of limitations? But that doesn't affect murders committed in 1985 or before. So there is a statute of limitations? But the Euro Code legal system from the Heian period has no statute of limitations. Or not. So what is it? I don't know. The statute of limitations doesn't advance when the criminal is outside the country. Depending on the treatment of Sukuna before taking flesh, the modern statute of limitations may not apply. Like that other world is overseas? Yes, exactly. Judge Man is a Shikigami that's part of my curse technique. So I think it's possible then Judge Man might think it so too. If we had crimes a millennium ago, and anything up to Judge Man's discretion, Sukuna potential crimes are countless. So the chance of Judge Man accusing him of something worth the death penalty is small. I don't agree. Even confiscation of a guilty verdict would be welcome. But I don't know if my curse technique's confiscation will apply to Ten Shadows technique and Malevolent Shrine. If it only applies to one. Even that'd help. Actually, there may be a sure way to get Sukuna the death penalty. Have him kill someone? Oh, that's a crow strike, right? Sukuna, Gojo, Kenjaku. Guys at that level always shoot down my crows. They're afraid of direct hit, so landing a hit could do some damage. I distracted him. You're up, Higaruma. Okay. Right, those are his kind of magical objects. Okay, so Yuji has actually hit him. What just happened? Itadori! It's time for a do-over. Domain expansion. Deadly sentencing. A third trial? What if we redo my trial, but against you, but involve Sukuna? Then you can prosecute Sukuna for the slaughter in Shibuya. Deadly sentencing means 3 tiers are random. So it won't work? Well, if I request for a retrial for a crime that's already been adjudicated, I don't know these legal terms. And Sukuna includes Sukuna as a co-defendant. It isn't impossible to continue the trial for the same crime. That's because there's no benefit to me. If the object of the curse technique is Itadori, even if it fails, I can restrict the crime to when Sukuna was possessing Itadori. Yuji Itadori stands accused of mass murders in Shibuya on October 31st, 2018. Itadori didn't kill anyone. His confession during the second trial was due to irrational feelings of guilt. The real killer is Ace Attorney all of a sudden. Buddy looks way too happy about this. I've been separated from Master Sukuna. Frost Calm. Frost Calm strikes with cursed energy in a super cool state to freeze its target. It is the essence of ice formation. Ugh. You need to land a jackpot, Hikari. Oh no. This is over. Yeah, there's his hand. He's on a roll. When he's on a fever, you can't go stopping him. His regeneration speed is incredible. In that and nothing else, he surpasses even Master Sukuna and Satoru Gojo. You bastard. You think freezing him is gonna kill? Nah. That was a heavenly dropkick. I found my shoe. I see you differently now. Sorcerers today try hard to retain their humanity, so they refrain from using their powers to break what they can break. But their fear is an alienation of their weakness. She froze the water pipes so they'd rupture. But you aren't like that. You're different. I don't consider you human anymore. So I'll crush you with everything I have. Is humanity the in thing now? A guy I know just said something similar. He's the gloomy sort. But he speaks up when he has to and comes through when it counts. So it really moved me. Which means I've been feeling hot. So let's bring the cold. Yuji Itadori stands accused of mass murder in Shibuya on October 31st, 2018. Itadori didn't kill anyone. His confession during the second trial was due to irrational feelings of guilt. The real killer is you, Ryomen Sukuna. Judgment knows everything about anyone within his domain. He's got his arms crossed. Yuji looks peeved. Aside from this evidence, however, he does not share that information with me. The verdict depends solely upon our arguments. As in the previous trial, the evidence submitted by Judgment must be about Sukuna inside Itadori, and thus contain a detailed record of Sukuna's heinous acts when in possession of the boy's body. The mass murder in Shinjuku wouldn't have been possible without Sukuna's skill in sorcery. So as long as Sukuna's testimony doesn't cause the court to rule out criminal liability or declare him criminally insane, then this evidence should result in a victory for us and the death penalty for Sukuna. The evidence is not necessarily enough. I heard the domain's rules and I was inside the boy. I'm only interested in the sword. I don't care what I did or when. So let's get this over with. Guilty. Confiscation. Death penalty. He wants the smoke. Executioner's sword. I don't know. I'm worried about Higaruma. I believe Sukuna lost the 10 Shadows technique in the fight against Gojo, so there's a high possibility that confiscation will fall on Malevolent Shrine. Then Sukuna won't have a cursed technique to use, but I'll be holding a sword sure to kill. Therein lies a chance of success that Sukuna's opponents must seize. I have Mahoraga. I adapted to the insta-kill. So the sorcerers from JUJUTSU High also take the field. Do you want to die, Higaruma? But Sukuna and Higaruma had realized that the chance of success was a sham. No! If the target of punishment is carrying a cursed tool, the confiscation applies not to a cursed technique, but to the cursed tool. Oh, but we just didn't know that yet. Look at this art. This is really good. Higgy! Ryomen Sukuna raid in Makayo Shinjuku. 12/24/2018. Monday. Rika, Yuji, Hikari, Yuta. Oh no, my lack of combat experience is obvious. Higaruma! Okay, Kukasabe is actually doing something. New shadow style, simple domain. It's not just the boy, but everyone's basic cursed energy reinforcement techniques have drastically improved. And by weakening my cursed technique with a simple domain, I've reduced the damage they take, although not as much as amplification would. I almost just died, damn it. But I learned something. Not all of his slashing attacks are capable of cutting the world. Usually some kind of binding vow or charge is necessary for broadening a cursed technique's target area. Sukuna has 2 types of slashing attacks. Dismantle cuts like normal, and the efficiency of cleave varies depending on the strength of his opponent. Dismantle lets fly a slashing attack. The slashes that cut the world are dismantle strengthened with a broader cursed technique strike zone. Cleave activates when he touches his opponent, except inside a domain. Cleave, dismantle, released at 0 range, and the slashes that cut the world are impossible to defend against using cursed energy reinforcement, amplification, or simple domain. Thus, they generally result in instant death. What's creepy is he isn't using fire like in Shibuya. I've been saying this, but I'm gonna guess that he can't use it right now. And if he does use that firepower, which was capable of exercising a certain volcano-headed special grade cursed spirit, there's not much I can do about it, so there's no use worrying over it. Higaruma, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry, I got the death penalty, but confiscation targeted his cursed tool. That's good enough. Finishing things with that sword is the easiest way to wrap this up. I'll protect you even if it costs me my life. Does that mean I'm gonna die here? Am I declaring my own demise? Oh, give it a break. You finally said something cool. So, you've solidified your defenses a bit, huh? Next, let's compete with our feet. Choso! Wanna race, you brat? He disappeared. No! Donut Choso. Oh. Is that Ino using what's it called? Nanami's cleaver. That's so cool. More powerful blow than I expected. Oh, I get it. That blunt blade. Isn't that the 7/3 hairstyle sorcerer curse technique in a materialized form? Whoa, what a powerful kick. Dude, it's just like... it's like there's nothing... They can't land a finger on him. Can you keep up? Don't! Leave Higaruma alone! Go ahead, Itadori. He's fast. Come on, Higaruma. Higuruma's curse technique may be effective in saving Fushiguro. Will you tell us about your curse technique? It's personal info, but yes, of course. Without exception, the Executioner's sword kills anyone it cuts, but only if they have the death sentence. And each Tori has demonstrated that judgment can distinguish between multiple souls within a single fully fleshed curse. If Sukuna gets the death penalty and the sword cuts him, we should be able to cover Fushiguro's unharmed soul from inside him. Sounds good, right? Yuta. Higuruma, do you want to die? Why are you asking that? You can't use reverse curse technique, but you're willingly going up against Sukuna. I've given up on the law, and it's given up on me, so I want to deliver my own punishment. So I guess you're right. I'm intent on fulfilling my role in dying. I get it. I'm not much different, but I kind of think you should come back from this. Impossible. I'm already someone who can't look you in the eye. Domain amplification. Did he neutralize my technique? Less than 2 months have passed since Higuruma awakened as a sorcerer. Since then, his growth has been extraordinary. Sukuna was fascinated by the Executioner's sword shining brightly again, guaranteed to kill, and by the man with talent equal to Satoru Gojo's. Yeah, if Higuruma was not in such like Higuruma would be a great sorcerer. He would be a hero. I mean, if he wasn't fighting, it's kind of like the Jogo effect. If he was fighting anyone other than who he is fighting, he is just a monster. And I mean, if he had been given time, if he had been raised in the sorcery world as a sorcerer, he would be unstoppable. Not really, but you know. Recreating domain amplification. What caught Sukuna's eyes more than that was the interruption and resumption of the curse technique effect due to amplification. When I've activated amplification during my fight against Satoru Gojo, I was extremely careful that Malevolent Shrine's adaptation up to that point was interrupted and not nullified. This man's sword also resumed its curse technique after amplification. In other words, he wields a curse technique almost as effectively as I wield mine. Hiromi Higuruma. That's your name, right? Okay. Come on, Higuruma. Is he using Yuji as a shield? No! Get it through your head already. You're boring. You don't thrill me at all. Okay, surely one of those hits, right? No. But the problem Higuruma is, I mean, he has, like, if Sukuna touches it at all, he dies. But the problem is he is fighting someone with so much more experience, not just, like, in sorcery, but physically. And, like he's a master of physical combat. And Higuruma was a lawyer. He's been a sorcerer for 2 months. He's just outmatched. Dragon scales. Repulsion. Paired falling stars. Dismantle. Heal that. Go on and heal yourself. How funny. No matter how cold my heart, no matter how prepared I was, pain still hurts. Is that all you got? Next, I'll take off your head. Reverse curse technique, you've heard of it, right? Come on. Some effort, please. Heal or die. I'm intent on fulfilling my role in dying. My role. This must be a death from a death painting room. The older brother. How persistent. Come on, kick it into him. Kick it into him. Oh, did he just develop reverse curse technique? Like right there on the spot? Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. Get him? You got him. He separated his head before I could strike him. Curses don't always weaken after death. Yeah, the general idea is they get stronger. My role. Is he gonna become a curse? No. Higuruma! You've got it from here. That's what you should do. He gave it to Yuji? I am a sorcerer. That is cold. That is so cool. Shin Higaruma. Okay, I'm gonna posit a theory here. Part of what is going to help Yuji bring down Sukuna is the fact that similar... Okay, I have to like get this out now. I know we're in the middle of like the next page, right? Yuji, similar to Yuta and Rika, right? Love is the greatest curse and all that. What if part of what helps Yuji end up beating Sukuna is the fact that like all these people have died and have effectively cursed him with like taking the baton to the end, carrying that torch to the end. Higaruma, Nanami, Nobara, I mean, whoever else might like die along this road, in a way, Junpei, like, they have cursed him with having to carry this torch. And it's an arduous path, and it's full of sacrifice and loss and death. But they have trusted and cursed him to carry it out. Just positing a theory. I think that would be excellent if was somewhat of what you were getting. Is that's a thing that happens just before a cleave. Yeah. He died, but I lost the supreme martial solution. And the boy's stomach is fully healed. Who's this? Wee Wee. And, Kiera. I'm not surprised. I bet that brat's curse technique is teleportation. And probably the reason Satoru Gojo's body vanished. Okay. They're transporting wounded sorcerers to the woman with reverse curse technique. No. Healing another person with reverse curse technique is less than half as effective as healing oneself. And compared to me and Gojo, her reverse curse technique isn't that strong. No, it should be stronger, but... Which means that in the past month, the boy has acquired reverse curse technique himself. He's improved more than using reverse cursed energy to physically strengthen himself, which means the main dish is the possessed brat. So this should be fun. Why am I irritated? Is Sukuna lost in thought? Am I feeling down because that sorcerer died? I've never needed anyone to satisfy me. That's true. I eat when I want to eat. Play with what amuses me and kill whoever's in my way. That's me, and I haven't changed, which makes devouring them a perfect way to pass time until death. Passing time until death. To me, that's all other people are good for. But you lacked the hunger to take hold of your desires. I live as benefits my nature, and if no one can grasp that, then that's their problem. I never held any ideals. Never strove for more than benefited my nature, but they pursue the ideal of killing me. Why does it irritate me to see others dedicated to an ideal? They remind me of someone I knew 10,000 years ago. Have I changed during that time? The boy. That's right. You. 1,000 years ago, the people I fought were strangers. To me, their reasons and ideals are all dying words, added later words whose truth I can't ascertain. They may have been bluffing or had an overly high opinion of themselves, but this is different. Two souls inhabiting the same flesh. I come back, no matter how many times he or his spirit breaks. I know his ideal to be unbreakable. Unfortunately, I have learned that someone far weaker can go toe-to-toe with me and achieve his ideal through the strength of will. And that really irritates me. Are we going to have elaboration on that, maybe, perhaps? How he got put in his way in the first place? In other words, I was so great in stature that I held no ideals, even despised them. So he strove to be so strong that he ran out of things to strive for. And that's why these guys are able to advance so quickly. Because he's given them something. Also, he did, if we were thinking about it, get hit by the thingy, the executioner sword, and it didn't really kill him. Granted, it was a fragment of it, but I'm still calling BS. You've given me a clear reason to destroy you here and now by crushing all your hopes. What's he doing? A player has added a new rule to the calling game. Rule 15. Megami Fushiguro has the authority to activate the merger of humankind by Tengen. Fushiguro. In other words, Sukuna. Could that be? He's Kenjaku's backup plan? Kotsu's surprise attack appears to have succeeded, triggering the failsafe. Sukuna isn't the type to annihilate humankind at any cost. I thought he was better than Kenjaku, because he wouldn't commit perverse acts of jujutsu terrorism out of mere curiosity. I thought that if we lost to Sukuna but defeated Kenjaku, we'd live in a country with wild beasts which would be bad enough. But this... Kukusabe? First I'm going to kill you all. Then I'm going to kill all the calling game players. And I'll have Tengen and the masses merge. After that, depending on how things turn out, I'll have some fun with Tengen. He's back! Akotsu! Sorry I'm late. Struggle all you like, but unless you kill me, everyone you care about will die. Who are you talking to? The queen is here. Dude, that goes crazy. The king of curses meets the queen. I love it. Perfect. Okay. Next up, chapter 249. Well, okay, just then, let's see. We started here. Okay. So in our recap, they kind of go over some of the nitty-gritty, kind of get into the mindset of trying to use Higuruma's curse technique to kill Sukuna. And they actually make a remarkable plan about it, you know. Distract him, get Higuruma in, have him activate domain expansion. This all makes sense. And then we see a little brief intermission with Hikari fighting. Oh, I can't remember her name. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, just brief. Regeneration speed off the wall, equal to that of Gojo and Sukuna, passes it, all that, yeah. He's feeling hot, so bring the cold. They're gonna continue. They're like the B fight right now. The trial goes on. Sukuna says, I don't care. Bring the heat. I'm ready for it. He was, in fact, ready for the heat. But what he could not have foreseen was Kukusabe actually doing something cool. Finishing things with that sword is the easiest way to wrap this up. I'll protect you even if it costs me my life. You finally say something cool, and then he goes back on it. Choso is just being the MLG, and my hope will never die, sniper from the rooftops. Skewered, but he'll be fine. Ino, using the blunted blade to, effectively attack him. Still, as far as we know, we haven't actually seen him use his curse technique in this fight yet, but whatever. They keep getting blasted backwards. Leave Higaruma alone, chasing him down. Higaruma is pushed to the brink. And he basically starts, like, reawakening. He has the potential of, like, Gojo. He is incredibly good. And he is getting thrashed before realizing what his role is. I'm intent on dying and fulfilling my role, because that's how he's realized, like, that's how he can enact the justice he wants to. And he activates reverse curse technique. Striking forward, Sukuna is able to fake him out. Look at him. He's even pointing his hand like, behold. And he passes his will on to Yuji. And Yuji strikes him with it. And of course, he doesn't die. His eyes look panicked, and then nothing happens as a result of that. Interesting. Wee Wee and Kiara show up to nab away Hikaruma's body. Sukuna has a little monologue about him. Apparently Yuji reminds him of someone lesser than him who strove to beat him 1,000 years ago. And it's revealed Kenjaku's backup plan is Sukuna giving Megumi Fushiguro authorization to do the merger. And so now it's the worst of both worlds. And then the GOAT himself, Yuta. I mean, if he swears to kill Sukuna, I feel like Sukuna dies. Because that's what he does. He makes promises and he follows through because he's him. Now, what is this? Does this make Yuta the last living special grade sorcerer? If Kenjaku is truly dead? I mean, it very well kind of does. Yeah, if Gojo's dead, Yuki's dead, though I wish she still wasn't, but I could get into a whole thing on that. And that, I mean, Geto being dead as a result of Kenjaku. Technically, you could say he died a long time ago. But, I mean, his technique and all the stuff that make him was still kind of around. And then they go at it, and the King of Curses finally meets the Queen of Curses, and she grabs him and crushes him into a gigantic satellite tower, and he's struggling to hold up the weight. Who are you talking to? Yuta, look at him back there. Just look at him. Walking forward like the badass he is. We're ready to fight. I'm so excited for the next chapter. Have a good one. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be tight.